Fourth Ward. I appreciate the discourse this evening between Ms. Hendrickson and Mr. Wortman. Ms. Pepper, thank you for coming up. The other day, I had to get a can of peas, and I didn't want to go to ShopRite because of the mess that was over there. I drove to Deer Park. They have a little grocery store. That's where I've been going. It's really expensive. I think the issue is not that we need a grocery store. That's pretty obvious. The issue is CDA and the funds. It leaves us asking questions about the $300,000 that's outstanding. The elephant in the room is that Mr. Getz was the one who still owed $300,000 when he left in 2006. He basically abandoned Save-A-Lot to now what you're saying, Ms. Pepper, to be, I guess you're accusing them of being criminals, basically, Machinsky's. They were guilty. Okay, all right. So it might have been some extremely poor judgment for Mr. Getz to sell Save-A-Lot to Machinsky's. I guess the accountability, in the end, Ms. Hendrickson, I guess lies with you in CDA. We have $300,000 outstanding. Mr. Getz did leave the store at one point. You say that Save-A-Lot likes to hire amateurs to run their grocery stores.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
Excuse me, you said that they like to hire people that do not have any groceries.
You don't have to defend yourself. We'll do it for you.
Excuse me. Let me have my 5 minutes, please, Mr. Hendry, as usual.
There's no 5 minutes. This is just public comment on the store.
Can I continue? Maybe I should just speak and no one should talk. How about that? That would be better. Okay, so you had said that Save-A-Lot likes to hire people who do not have any grocery store experience. I guess that would be more agreeable as to your comment.
She didn't say that either.
Mr. Siegel.
I'm sorry.
Let her talk.
Please. Likes to hire people, if I could just get through the statement, with no grocery store experience. Does that mean that the City of Port Jervis and CDA should lend $263,000 to someone, again, for the second time? He essentially abandoned the loan the first time, and now the city is going to give him another $263,000. This is the issue. The issue is not that we need a store. That's obvious. And I'd like to challenge you, Ms. Hendrickson, if I may, that cold calling doesn't work, that we couldn't find experienced chain grocery business people with $263,000. We couldn't find someone to open a grocery store with experience. I personally know two people. Okay, listen.
Mrs. Hendrickson,
let me just continue. Okay.
Mrs. Hendrickson, I just want to inform you, I've talked to Corporation Counsel. These people are entitled to ask questions, to bring up issues. You do not have to answer them. Okay?
Okay, if I may continue.
Especially if they may have a legal venue.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to continue. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'd like to know if Mr. Getz at this point would be leaving his insurance business. Is he going to now devote himself full-time? I appreciate that Ms. Pepper said she enjoyed working with him. I hope that he doesn't do it as a part-time venture and that he'll be there full-time. I recently attended a CDA meeting. I do want to express my disappointment to you, Mr. Ritchie, to the whole CDA board, that I was not permitted. It's a public meeting.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. This is outside the scope of the public hearing.
No, it's not really, because at that hearing, Mr. Brady, I was asking questions about the Save-A-Lot, and I was not able to get those answers.
Well, Save-A-Lot was scheduled for executive session, which you're not entitled to be in.
At CDA meetings, are any questions or comments permitted?
There was no discussion on Save-A-Lot.
At CDA meetings, at CDA meetings. Are any questions or comments permitted?
Do you have any other questions for Mrs. Hendrickson?
No, but I do have a couple more points.
You can bring them up under new business if you wish.
Can I just continue my comment on safety?
How long are you going to be? Because
2 minutes.
I got to work tomorrow.
2 minutes, Mayor Potter. I'd like to have a full accounting at this point, since there was $300,000 that was transferred by Mr. Getz to the Machinskys, who didn't pay it. I'd like to have a full accounting with receipts of all of those monies, plus the public is entitled, as you had discussed, to have a copy of that business plan of the $263,000, what intends to happen with that. Where is the record of the monthly inventories and the prevention loss statements? In other words, how much did the store make as opposed to how much was stolen during the entire course, during the Machinskys? What I'm asking for is the receipts and the prevention loss statements. And I'll just end this by saying, this is so, I can't even get through a comment. Why should we now have faith that Mr. Getz is going to launch a successful grocery store when he failed to do so in the past? Having failed in his poor judgment to sell it to Machinskys, having CDA not reviewed that it fell into the hands of people that made it fail. The bottom line is accountability. And with the ability, Mayor, for the public to make public comment and ask questions at meetings being severely curtailed, the public is at a further disadvantage to obtain information regarding the use of public funds. I would like a full investigation as to that $300,000, receipts, prevention loss statements, everything that money was spent on. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.